America's Voice brings you CPAC 2019.
Back with you at America's Voice News, and I'm delighted to be joined with us, Salem Media Network's America's First, the host, Seb Gorka. Sebastian Gorka, welcome. How are you today?
Good to see you again, Dave. Doing
Thank
very
you.
well. I just need one of those pins. I like that pin.
You like the pin?
I like the pin.
You're a big proponent. Jihad, what was the name of the
The
book?
first one was Defeating Jihad, and the new book is Why We Fight, Defeating America's Enemies with No Apologies.
Right, and that's a fantastic book. We talked about it on our show, Whiskey
Yes.
Politics, earlier in the year. Thank you for joining us again. CPAC 2019. We are kind of at the little bit of a bottom between the election cycles right now. There's a huge amount of energy on the right. We're laughing. We're seeing the memes on the left. They're imploding. But we don't believe they're going to stay that way. They're not going to stay in that valley.
No, if you look at what's been happening in just the last 3-4 weeks, there is no rational control on the left. If you look at the attack in Berkeley against that Turning Point USA volunteer, if you look at what Ocasio-Cortez is doing, Governor Northam, the butcher of Richmond, if you look at what Cuomo is doing in New York, the radicals have fully taken over. Whether it's post-birth infanticide, whether it's the normalization of violence, or whether it's Ocasio-Cortez with this communist plan, and that's what it is, to take control of everything. First it was Obamacare taking control of your health care, then they come after the guns, now they want to come after our hamburgers, now they want to come after our pickup trucks, now they want to ban air travel. I mean, that is communism.
It is, and the socialist message seems to be taking, it's getting a little bit more popularity. I mean, Bernie Sanders raised a tremendous amount of money the day he threw his hat in the ring last week. Is this a trend that's concerning to you? Do you think it can turn, or is it going to increase?
I am very worried. So there's a great organization, the Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation here in DC. Every year they do a big YouGov poll. Last time they did it, just a few months ago, they found that 52% of American millennials would prefer to live in a socialist or communist America. Dave, we have a lot of work to do, because that's an ideology that took the lives of more than 100 million human beings in just the last century. And now we want to have it occur in America. That's why when the president stood up in front of Congress and said America will never be a socialist state, he fired a shot across the bow of those who are trying to normalize socialism in America.
How do we get that message out when the media is 95%? You saw, Lara Logan, what she said. How do you convey this message? I know you're on the radio every day, 3 hours. We're trying to do our part here, but how do we get to those heads?
Social media.
Okay.
Remember what it's Andrew Breitbart. Today is the day he died 7 years ago. We owe so much to Andrew Breitbart. He taught us that every American is now a citizen journalist. You have more capacity, a video camera, recording devices in your hand than any journalist has had 20, 30 years ago. You need to stand up for the truth. Get on social media. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're a technological klutz. If you don't have a Twitter account, if you're not on Facebook and Instagram, you are part of the problem. There's a reason the president has 58 million Twitter followers. You know Anderson Cooper, he hates it when I say it, but that's why I'm going to say it again. Anderson Cooper, I'm sorry you only get 600,000 viewers a night. That's less than 0.5%. 0.5% of the American population. If it weren't mandatory in America's airports, it would only be you and your third cousin watching your show. The president has 60 million followers. You need to be supporting the Make America Great Again agenda by getting on Facebook, retweeting the president, and if you see something crazy, you should tweet about it. I have a family member. I'm going to break some news here. I had a family member call up. She is in San Francisco. She works for the government in San Francisco. They just had one of these mandatory employee briefings. The government of San Francisco has said you are now banned as a government employee from using the word homeless people. You must now refer to them as urban campers. This is not a joke, Dave. This is America. Urban campers. That's insanity. That's George Orwell. When you hear stuff like that, push it out.
So the control of speech, what you can and cannot say, and making certain things illegal.
Right.
Using verbiage such as homeless, or if you're talking about gender, or whatever it may be.
Dead naming.
Okay,
you're
dead
a biological man. Sorry, I don't care. Right?
Okay.
You want to call yourself Julie? You're still a guy.
Okay, how is it that we're not seeing an uprising on social media? We do from certain corners of the left. This somewhat is an echo chamber here, okay? But there's 325 million people in this country, and many of them don't follow the news. They may not listen to our show, your show.
Right.
So social media, how do we pierce that bubble on social media? Is it making fun of them, or can we have a debate?
Okay,
yes.
Humor is massively powerful.
Right.
Look at what I do on Twitter. I'm pretty forward-leaning. I call it as I see it. When I see rank corruption, when I see anti-Semitism on my Twitter feed, you will see Seb Gorka at Seb Gorka. I'll say it. Look, Ilhan Omar, you're an anti-Semite. You have no place on the Foreign Affairs Committee of Congress as a person who said the Jews are evil and it's all about the Benjamins and they've hypnotized the West. You got to say it as you see it.
I want to get one last question. We got a minute left here. Okay, McCabe. We're talking about the FBI. We're talking about the Justice Department. Okay, where is this going to be going now? Last time we had you on, you said Trump has got some information. He's holding on to it. I said, why doesn't he release it before the 2018 election? You remember my question?
Right.
What's going to happen with that information?
So I was with the president in the White House recently. There's a very good reason why he's not yet declassified the original FISA memos. I can't go into details, but it has to do with other countries who say they are our friends.
Will it happen before the election?
Before 2020. He told me yes.
It will.
He told me yes.
You heard it here, folks, first. All right, Sebastian Gorka, thank you for joining us.
Dave.
Everybody listen to his show. I listen to it very well. America's First.
America First. Go to sebgorka.com. Go to iTunes for the podcast.
All right, thank you very much. And I'm Dave Sussman with America's Voice News. And we'll be back right away. Thank you so much.